This video will cover section 2.5, solving by elimination. Right here, this little box contains some step-by-step for those of you who prefer to just kind of memorize the process. I'm not a huge fan of that, but it is there for you to review. The goal of elimination is to eliminate a variable, x, y, whatever, using addition and subtraction. This is sometimes called linear combination. So in this first problem, number 1, if I subtract the two equations, I will eliminate x. Be very careful when you subtract that you don't mess up the negative signs. X minus x is 0, that's gone. 7y minus negative y becomes plus. So this ends up being 7y plus y, which is 8y. And 17 minus negative 7 becomes 24. 17 minus negative 7 becomes 24. Divide both sides by 8. Y is 3. Plug back into either the first equation or the second equation to find x. I'm going to plug into the second equation. Just going to rewrite it so that I don't make any careless mistakes. X minus y, which is 3, equals negative 7. Add 3 to both sides and you get negative 4. Don't forget, your answer is always in ordered pair. This means that if I were to graph those two lines, they would intersect at the point negative 4, 3. What happens if you can't just do a straight addition or subtraction? Sometimes you need to do multiplication first. The goal is to add together, well, 7x plus 2x, 9x doesn't help me. Negative 6y minus 3y, negative 6y plus 3y, it doesn't matter how you look at it, I'm not going to be able to eliminate. I'm going to multiply the bottom equation times 2. And if I do that, I'm going to have 4x minus 6y. If I multiply by negative 2, my life's going to be a little bit easier. I'm going to rewrite the equation. 2x times negative 2x is negative 4x. Negative 3y times negative 2 is positive 6y. And look there, if you have opposites, you'll get 0, which is super nice. Avoid the careless mistake. Don't forget to multiply negative 13 times negative 2 as well. Add. I always prefer to add over subtract. So this is going to be 3x equals negative 27, I hope. Divide by 3. X is negative 9. Solve for y, plug back into the first equation, the second equation, the altered equation. I don't recommend that just in case you made a mistake. I'm going to plug back into the second equation. So that's going to be 2 times x, which is now negative 9, minus 3y equals negative 13. That's negative 18 minus 3y equals negative 13. I'm out of room. Add 18 to both sides and you get, add 18, you get 5. Divide by negative 3. Y is negative 5/3. Ordered pair, negative 9, negative 5/3. I feel like I may have made a mistake because I got a fraction for an answer. Negative, but let's hope I did it right. Okay, number 3 requires double multiplication. Look at it as multiplying one coefficient by the other. What I mean by that is The coefficient on x is 5. The coefficient on x is 2. If you multiply by the other, things should work out nicely. So I'm going to multiply by 2. I'm going to alter that in just a minute and times 5. Notice that's going to give me 10x, 10x. If I have opposites, that would be even nicer. So I'm going to multiply by -2. And that's going to give me negative 10x, positive 10x, and I'm going to be good to go. So this is negative 10x minus 6y equals positive 14. And this is going to be 10x plus 35y equals 15. And now when I add, things go away. I know I'm going through this pretty fast, but I think this is review. I hope it's review for everybody. Negative 10x, positive 10x gone. Add, you get 29y equals 29. Divide by 29, y is 1. It seems like we've solved for y the past few times. For all 3 problems so far, we have found y first. Plug back into either equation. And I'm going to plug back into the second one using substitution. In my experience, students like elimination the best. 2x plus 7 is 3. 2x equals -4. X is -2. If I'm going too fast for you, feel free to rewind the video and watch it again. Okay, number 4 is interesting because nothing is lined up. So each problem's been a little bit different. The first problem, we just did subtraction, we were good to go. The second problem, we multiplied one of the equations. The third problem, we multiplied both equations. The fourth problem, things aren't lined up. You need to line up the variables. Actually standard form is actually what we're really looking for. Variables on one side, constants on the other. So I'm going to rewrite this so that I have more room. I could subtract 10x from both sides. My guess is that you want to add 8y to both sides, so I'm going to skip a step here. I'm going to add 8y to both sides, plus 8y, and that 18 needs to move from the left to the right, so I'm going to subtract 18. The second equation, I'm just going to rewrite that. I just rewrote it. I didn't do anything fancy. I need to have the y on the left. You could subtract 9x onto the right-hand side. My experience has shown that's not really what we like to do. So I'm going to subtract 5y. Subtract 5y. Now x's and y's are together. And I'm going to move 4 to the right by subtracting. Now they're going to be lined up. So I'm just going to move the 9x minus 5y equals -4. Not only did I have to do all this moving to line things up, now I'm going to have to do multiplication. You multiply the top equation by 9, the first equation by 9, and the second equation by 10, opposite coefficients. I think I'm going to go with y. The numbers are a bit smaller. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by 5 and the bottom equation by 8. That will give me positive 40y negative 40y. And let's hope that I don't make a mistake because there's nobody here to catch me. 50x plus 40y equals negative 90. 45x minus 40y equals negative 32. 95x equals negative 122. Oh my goodness gracious. That really, I'm here by myself doing this problem and I really feel like I messed something up. 10x plus 8y is negative 18. 9x minus 5y is negative 4. 9x minus 5y is negative 4. You see my mistake, go ahead and post it on Classroom. I just am really nervous that this is such a nasty number. Negative 122 over 95. Oh, I know why. I found it. 9 times 8 is 72. And of course, I don't have whiteout. And I'm not using erasable pen. At least I found my mistake. I knew it couldn't be that horrible of a fraction. 50 plus 72 is 122. I like this answer much better. X is negative 1. Negative 1 versus negative 122 over 95. Whew. Okay. You have so many places you can plug in x is negative 1. I'm going to plug into 4 plus 9x equals 5y. 4 plus 9 times negative 1 equals 5y. This is 4 minus 9 equals 5y. Negative 5 is 5y. Y is also negative 1. Ordered pair. Don't forget your ordered pairs. Word problems. We're going to do a few of these. The number one step with word problems is always to define your variables. You need to tell me, what does x equal? What does y equal? You don't always have to use x and y. Feel free to use p or q or whatever. Okay. Marcy bought a total of 20 used books and CDs during a yard sale for a total of $54.50. If books cost $1.50 each and CDs cost $5 each, how many of each did she buy? So I'm looking for how many of each did she buy? What did she buy? She bought books and she bought CDs. I'm going to use B for books and C for CDs. You probably don't even know what a CD is. Way back when, people had disc players, we had Discman, they were called. Walkman, a Discman. I'm aging myself. She bought a total of 20 used books and CDs. Books, B. CDs, C. B plus C is 20. Books cost $1.50. One book, $1.50. 2 books, $3. 10 books, $15. How do you get that? You multiply. So $1.50 for each book plus $5 for each CD is equal to $54.50. I'm going to use substitution. I think substitution is a little bit easier. I'm going to solve for B, C, whatever. I'm going to subtract C. Books, 20 minus C. And I'm going to substitute in 150, 20 minus C, plus 5C is 54.50. I do have my calculator with me. I just don't want to mess this up. Distribute, get 30 minus 150C plus 5C is 5450. Pause the video if you need to. This becomes 350, negative 150 plus 5 is positive 350. Subtract 30 from each side, and you get 2450. Divide both sides by 350, you get 7. If you're getting a decimal or a fraction, something's wrong. You're not buying a decimal number of books. You're not buying a fraction of CDs. So if she bought 7 CDs, that means she bought 13 books. Plug in. B plus 7 is 20. B is 13. Books, 7 CDs. A yard sale and CDs cost $5? I don't know. I don't think that's a very good sale. Better on Amazon, if they even sell CDs on Amazon. Next, Landon babysits and works part-time at the water park over the summer. 1 week, he babysat for 3 hours and worked at the water park for 10 hours and made $109. Not bad. The next week, he babysat for 8 hours and worked at the water park for 12 hours and made $177. How much does Landon make per hour for each job? Okay, I'm gonna do B for babysitting. You can make a lot of money babysitting. And let's do W for the water park. You can use X, you can use Y, no problem. Okay, he babysat for 3 hours. How much does he make babysitting? I don't know. I called it B. So 3 times how much he makes per hour is going to be how much he earns in total from babysitting, plus 10 times the water park. So if he makes $5 an hour, that's child labor. If he makes $5 an hour, then he made $50 total. If he makes out $10 an hour, then that would be $100, but I don't know. So I'm going to multiply the number of hours times whatever that wage is. 109. 8 hours. You make $20 an hour babysitting, 8 times 20. If you make $10 an hour babysitting, 8 times 10, but I don't know how much he makes. And then 12 hours at the water park, 177. I'm going to use elimination. I'm going to multiply the top equation by 8. I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by -3. That will give me positive 24, negative 24, and I'll be good to go. And I have my calculator so I don't mess this up. 24b plus 80w equals, I think it is 872. 9 times 8. It is 872. Negative 24b minus 36w, negative 531. That's going to give me 44w equals 341. Divide by 44. Here a decimal is okay. We're talking about how much you make per hour. $7.75. Clearly, this problem is old. Nobody makes $7.75. That's below minimum wage. So clearly this is an old problem, but it's a realistic answer in terms of, I didn't get, 7.6129837. That would have concerned me. I'm going to plug into the original top equation here. 3b plus 10w, which is 775, equals 109. So 3b plus $77.50. Subtract $77.50 from both sides. Divide by 3, $10.50. How much do you guys make babysitting these days? I'm curious. I don't even have any idea. Let's write out a nice sentence. Oh, in this case, an ordered pair is not necessary. An ordered pair is not necessary. You should really write out your solution. So Landon makes $7.75 at the water park. And $10.50 babysitting. All right, last one. Kent has a collection of pennies and nickels with a value of $1.98. The number of pennies he has is 5 less than twice the number of nickels. How many of each coin does Kent have? P for pennies, N for nickels. I'd put a little star next to this problem. You need 2 equations. You need 2 equations. I have 2 unknowns. I need 2 equations to solve them. Books and CDs, 2 equations. Babysitting and water park, 2 equations. Pennies and nickels, 2 equations. So I know that the number of pennies has is past tense, it is. The number of pennies, P, is 5 less than twice the number of nickels. Twice the number of nickels minus 5. Okay, now, what am I gonna do with this $1.98? Pennies, 0.01. A nickel, 0.05. That says nickel, sorry, bad handwriting. If you have 10 nickels, you have 50 cents. How'd you get that? You multiply by 5. If you have 3 nickels, 15 cents. Multiply by 0.05. 100 nickels, etc. So, total of $1.98. So, 0.01 for each penny plus 0.05 for each nickel is equal to $1.98. You need a money equation. Whenever you're talking about coins, you need a money equation. This right here is my money equation. If there were quarters involved, I would do 0.25 times whatever. $half, I would do 0.5. This is naturally set up for substitution. 0.01. 2n minus 5. We better not get a fraction or a decimal. You can't have a fraction number of pennies. Distribute 0.02n. minus 0.05 plus 0.05 n equals 198. Okay, 0.02 n plus 0.05 n is 0.07 n. Add 5 cents to both sides, you get 203. The moment of truth, 29. That's the number of nickels. Plug back in here. P is equal to 2 times 29 minus 5, 53. 53 pennies, 29 nickels.